Phone and laptop.
Computer. Phone, laptop.
Zero.
My iPod, cell phone, and laptop.
This is it.
Most of the time, but a lot of the time if you're not in you're not going to communicate with someone if you're not with them, so at least it gives you some kind of communication.
I mean, I only communicate with this when they're not around. Obviously, I'd rather face-to-face communication, but if it's not available, I just...
It's not a yes or a no answer, so this is a difficult one to answer because I think it depends on who you're talking for or about. For some people, it seems to be taking away, but for others, it's actually enriching life. There are a lot of people in this world who don't like face-to-face communication for many different reasons. Either they're shy, either they have a sensory integration issue which makes it very difficult to be in a physical space with someone else. And these technologies are actually kind of helping them to filter that, and through that process being able to communicate in ways that they couldn't before. So in that sense, it's not hindering, it's actually enhancing communication in that it's allowing people to come out of their shells in ways that they couldn't before.
You know, obviously it does, right? I mean, because these technologies connect us instantly, but because they also mediate us and they strip out all of the other layers of communication that you get from in-person communication, they can affect the next time that you're talking to someone. Or I imagine if you're speaking to someone solely through one method, that it would impact your ability to communicate with another method, right? So if you were always talking to someone over IM and then you met face to face, you know, that might be awkward because you'd be learning a whole new set of layers of communication from them.
Not really, because like I still talk to the people I talk to on the phone face to face. It's more like talking to them in the morning or like after class, seeing where they are and then meeting up with them.
It does for sure.
Yeah.
But I try not to do that for me personally because I'm a sociology student, so I study this stuff a lot, and I try not to take away from my personal relationships. So if someone's really a true friend or someone who I usually talk to or a relative, I would call them instead of Facebook messaging or BBMing.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Because the communication is fundamentally different.
Okay.
When you're face to face with someone, the visual, the amount of actual data that's being thrown at you is far more than even Skype.
Yeah, because it's not raw, right? You don't get to see the emotions that you're having. There's a lot of confusion with sarcasm. Your point doesn't always get across the same. Plus, just human interaction is healthy.
I mean, like for example, what's happening right now in the Middle East with the whole revolutions and stuff, that obviously like changes how you view things. Just like overall, it changes your life. Just because the media is bringing that towards you, it changes how you're seeing things and how you feel about certain things.
It's a great way of expressing emotion. Sure, we're getting more used to media now, especially young people. You know, you guys are you're there.
I think we get too much media in our life. Look where we're standing. Look what's going on. I think people should just be a little more simple in their life. And I think everybody will be a little bit more happier if you didn't have all these distractions and things that you attain to be a simple life, food and clothes and friends. And that's really what's important.
I think it does because people they look at celebrities from television and stuff and they get influenced by them, so that changes their emotions. They start thinking their way, not their own way.
Of course. You have like room full of PhD people trying to figure out how to screw with our emotions and those things. So yeah.
Do you think it's negative or positive?
I think it depends on what they're doing.
Okay.
So it could be.
Okay.
Or it couldn't be. I guess we should be aware of the fact that they're toying with our emotions. And I'd be horrified if anybody here isn't aware of that.
I think it affects our emotions in the sense that it makes us relate to something else, or it just puts you in a personal experience because what's happening to them isn't happening to you, but you imagine it happening to yourself. You put yourself in the circumstance, right?
I think the news does that very well. Dysfunctional families do that very well. Violence in our daily lives does that very well. So the media, like everything else, can or cannot. It's a choice.
Yeah.
We can decide to watch it or not.
Oh, for sure. Like kids that are playing Grand Theft Auto. Now they're going to go out and steal cars, or not to that extreme, but a lot of it does happen. And kids are fake fighting outside, and all of a sudden they hit their friend in the wrong place, and their friend's not moving.
Yeah.
And you don't think of it, but it happens.
I play COD myself every once in a while, and I never had those feelings in real life of murdering people. But that game, yeah, absolutely. I don't think young kids should have access to it anyway. 18 years old or older, definitely mature.
Totally. Like, people don't take violence as seriously. Obviously, when you're watching a video, you watch a violent scene, it doesn't affect you the same as, like, maybe something sexual, I don't know, like you feel more uncomfortable with that, but with violence, something that's just as crazy, you wouldn't feel uncomfortable sitting beside someone and watching that.
I think there's a lot of studies done on that, but I can't remember a specific one, but definitely desensitizes, because the more you see something, it's normalized for you in your daily life, and the less likely you are to question it, so it does desensitize us to a point.
Depends. I mean, like, I don't think violence in video games really do anything, but if you're gonna watch like Saw or like a movie where it's just constantly killing someone, yeah, I think that'll desensitize you. And it also depends on how much you do it. If you're gonna play video games and just kill people all day, it's different than if you like do it like once every month or something.
Do the research. People have actually done studies on this. So I'm not going to, the studies I've read show that it actually doesn't really have that much of an effect.
At the end of the day, it's just another form of entertainment, and I wouldn't say that it desensitizes me any more than a movie would.